Hey everyone, it's Kathleen from Kathleen Marie Design and Online Art Lessons with Kathleen. Today we will be making a summer self-portrait, although you could draw your scene in any season. For this lesson, I will be using a Sharpie, but I would recommend that you start with a pencil and eraser, and then when you're happy with it, you can always outline it with either a standard or a thinner Sharpie. And I am going to be adding color with watercolor paint, but you can really add color however you like. Crayons, color pencils, markers, whatever you like best. All right, so let's begin. I'm going to be doing a full body self-portrait. That means I need to save enough space for my whole body. Whenever I begin a person, I always start with a U for my face. That allows me a lot of options for hair. So I like to wear my hair in a bun, so I need to add both the top of my head and my hairline. I'm going to turn my head into an oval since my hair is up, but I'm going to add a hairline. So for my hairline, I draw a second line, that's a hair that goes around my forehead, and then I'm going to add my bun at the top. This is only one choice, right, for hair that's up for someone with longer hair. So I can show you a few different options of some different hairstyles. All right, so you may have shorter hair. If you have shorter hair, no matter what the hairstyle is, we always need to think about the top of our head and our hairline. So maybe your hair is spiky at the top, but your hairline along your forehead might be smooth. Or it can be spiky at the top and spiky at the bottom. Maybe you want to add your hair down and it's long. So I'm going to think about my hairline. I'm going to do a side part. That means one side is longer than the other. Then I'm going to bring my hair down around and touch my face. If your hair is curly, maybe you have a center part. It's a little bit more even, but has curly lines when drawing the hair. Maybe you have a ponytail and you don't have any part, so I'll draw a round line and a round line on the top. Ponytails are hard to see when they're at their back. You could draw it here, but you don't really see it, so sometimes I like to do the ponytail more off to the side so you can kind of see it. You might have braids or twists, so you could add your hair on the top. You could add a hairline, and maybe you have more braids going back. So I like to do the individual rows, and I kind of do X's to show, or like diagonal lines. You might have curly twists that are more individual hairs and less solid. Okay, this is only a very small amount of all the different hairstyles we have. But whenever you're drawing your hair, just make sure you think about the hair that grows on your forehead and then how your hair goes down, whether it's long, curly, braided, ponytail, short. So just try to look in the mirror and draw a hairstyle that matches your own. All right, so the next step is I'm going to draw 2 lines down for my neck. I'm going to save my face for later. Now I need to think about what kind of pose I'm going to be in. Are my arms going to be up? Are they going to be down? One up, one down. Before I do that, I will add my shoulders. That's something that we sometimes forget. I'm going to draw one arm up and one arm down. So from my shoulder, I'm going to draw a line up, make it a double line so it's not too skinny. And this one's just going to go down, make it a double line. From there, I can add my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hands are tricky, so take your time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. From the edge of our arm, we need to bring our body down. So I'm going to bring it down from here, bring this a little bit longer, and down from there. Now from here, you need to decide what your outfit is going to look like. Are you wearing shorts? Are you wearing pants? Are you wearing a dress? If I want to be wearing shorts, this got a little bit long, so I'm going to close it off around here to show that I have a shirt on. And shorts will come down, capital L, V at the top, over and back up to the other side. You can draw your legs, 2 lines coming down. And I just like to do kind of oval feet going sideways. Now, if you want to do pants, you could draw it longer with pants. You could turn this into a skirt. If you didn't have that line, it would look like a dress. It can be a real outfit or imaginary outfit. It's up to you. Now we need to decorate our outfit. I'm going to draw short sleeves. So that means the lines are stopping here. If you wanted long sleeves, you could draw a line at the wrist. No sleeves would be a line over here. I need a collar. Okay, and then I'm going to add some details. Details are what make your clothing look more interesting. So I'm gonna add a pocket, details around my collar. Okay, could add some shapes. You could do a sports logo, whatever you like. I'm going to close that off and I'll just close it off in the front too. And now I'm going to start with my face. So there's a lot of different choices for your face. I like to make it simple. This is a little bit less realistic and a little bit more cartoony. So I'm just going to do 2 ovals for my eyes, capital L for my nose, and a smile. You could add some lines on top if you want. Add some eyelashes. And I'm going to make the smile a little bit bigger. Add some eyebrows. Now, your face doesn't need to look like this. If you have a way that you like drawing your face, you can do that. Yeah, add a few freckles. And the one thing we can't forget are our ears, especially because the hair is up. So I'm going to do a stretched out C and backward C, lining up with my eyes and nose. I'm going to add some texture in my hair because my hair goes down on each side and then it grows around for the bun. All right, great. I have a person, but now this person is floating in space. I need to add my horizon line. A horizon line is a line that separates your ground from your sky or the floor from the ceiling. So I added a horizontal line and now I have this above space and below space. So in my background, I'm going to be outside. And I'm going to add a tree. Different branches. And I can add some texture on the trunk. Maybe make it a little bit bigger. Okay. Add a cloud in the sky. And down here, maybe I'll add an animal. So I'm gonna add a dog. You can decide whatever details you want in your background. It doesn't have to match mine. Okay, so I have a kind of like a fluffy dog. Maybe I'll give the dog a collar. And if I wanted to, I could draw a leash that goes down to my dog. Could draw some divots in the ground, maybe little pieces of grass that are growing up. Right? Any other details you want to add that's going to make it more interesting. The more details you have on your person, around your person, in your background, the better it's going to look. Now the only step left is coloring. Like I said, I'm using my watercolor paint. So for the background, larger areas, I'm going to use a larger brush. We use this light blue to paint the sky. Do have to be careful as I'm getting closer to my face and body that we don't touch it. Watercolor paint needs a lot of water to work, so while I'm still using one color that's the same, I have to keep dipping into my water about every other time. So I dip in the water, dip in the paint, I have a little puddle of water in there. Carefully around my fingers and body. And sometimes our bigger brush is too big for small areas around the person, so you can always switch your brush size depending on where you're working. So I'm going to speed this up and finish up my sky. All right, I finished my sky. Notice that everything from the top of the paper down to the horizon line is sky, so that's all blue, except for anything that I drew. So now since I'm using a new color, I have to wash my brush. Go to a green now for my tree. Ooh, don't want to spill it. Okay, I'll do my tree trunk, washing my brush, new color. Now my paint's pretty dry as it's going on. If your paint is very wet and you paint two things next to each other and they're wet, they will smear together. So just be careful as you're painting to make sure your paint is dry before you paint something next to it. I'm gonna use different color for my grass, more of this slimy green. Still using my larger brush because it's a larger area. But once I get to my person, I'm going to switch to a smaller brush. All right, I've finished the larger areas, so now I will switch to my smaller brush. I'm gonna start with the skin color. So what's a little bit tricky about this watercolor set is it does not have a good range of skin color. It has a peachy color, but that's about it. And not everyone is this skin color, and not everyone is this kind of coppery brown. So you might need to switch back to a crayon colored pencil to get a more accurate color for your skin. I'm gonna do the peachy color, but you can mix a little bit of the brown into it, make it a little bit darker. So skin color is going to be your face, your ears, your neck, and then depending on what kind of outfit you drew, I have my arms are visible. And my legs. Got a little bit of paint where I don't want it. Take my paper towel, just dab it and it will go away. Alright, so then my legs, and I'm all set with my skin color. Same thing for the hair. This is a little bit too coppery. Can mix a little bit of the black into it to make it a little bit darker. And this is kind of making your colors a little bit dirty, but you could always just wipe it with a wet paper towel afterwards and they'll be back to normal. Right, so add some brown hair. Remember, our hair grows by our ears, so you want to make sure your hair is not too high at the top and that it is growing down by your ears. If you feel on your own head, your hair does grow all the way down on the sides by your ears. All right, now we can decorate our outfit. I'm gonna do magenta shirt going around my circles. Brown my pocket. Okay. Do some purple shorts. Could be a outfit that you have, an outfit that you've seen, or just something imaginary. So I got a little bit of purple into my grass. I'm gonna wash my brush, go over it with just water, dab it with my paper towel, and that will lighten it up. It's not perfect, but it's better. If you mess up, you can try to erase a little bit with water. Fill in my circles with purple. Oops, into my neck. Same thing, a little bit of water, and then dab it. It's lighter. All right, I can cover over that with a little bit more skin color. But if it's too wet, it will smear, so should probably wait for that to dry a little bit more. All right, I'm gonna give myself some blue shoes. All right, and let's see, for the dog, I'm gonna do brown and white. So I'm gonna do some areas brown, but also some areas just leave it white. Maybe I'll try to make it a lighter brown. Don't want to make it too dark, like black, because you won't see the eyes or face anymore. Right, give the dog a collar. All right, great. So I have my self-portrait in a summer scene. Like I said, it could be any season you want. And I would love to see how yours turns out, so please send me a photo. See you next time.